Hello everyone and welcome to this video where we have some exciting news for the UniCon system. Now if you're following along on my Discord server and especially on my Steam workshop, you'll notice that I have not been resting. I've been uploading thing after thing, and not just that, going back and updating other creations to make them compatible with the new UniCon system. So if you don't know what the UniCon is, I highly recommend you take a look at another video, but pretty much it is a standard that I've developed that can be used for small containers such as this. Now this comes because when the developers released the update which gave us trucking and gave us truck trailers and stuff, I was really praying and hoping that we would get a small type of cargo, a standardized small type of cargo. And while that was not meant to be, I undertook probably the biggest journey of my Stormworks career. While none of these creations are particularly large in nature, and some of them have already been released in the past, it has been a mind-boggling amount of coordination, spreadsheets, checking, going back and forth, making sure that what I'm doing actually makes logical sense. So it is something that I'm very proud of. And while it may not maybe look like much to some, trust me, it is a lot of effort. Now I'm going to explain what these creations that you see here are, some of the new ones, some of the things that I've been working on. But before I begin, I'm just going to explain some of the newest changes to our standardized UniCon container. So you recognize this hopefully as the creation that is the standard template and examples, I think it's called. And pretty much what I've added, last time I talked about this, I added the tracks, so that is not new. Now we have the perpendicular and forward tracks, but I've added a second and a third control instrument panel. Now these are not on a, what do you call, a two-way switch in America or three-way switch in the US or in the UK and Europe, meaning what you do is when you release this will not re-release it. So it's not XOR, it is purely OR. So in this case now it's released. So if you do toggle some strange assortment of things, you do have to find which one you've done. And the reason for that is because I just like to logically see something is on and know that it's on, versus if I now do this, it would actually be back off. That leaves it a little bit, you have to kind of search for the buttons and stuff. Anyway, that's what I've done. So now in addition to that, you have ones on the side. Now keep in mind you don't have one on the back, and here you have the brakes. On the crate style, you don't even have brakes. The brakes are actually located where the unlock crate is. So a little annoying because the sides can plop open, but I did not want to add another button, especially a button that was electrical. So keep in mind the difference between the crates, the wooden crates, and the metal cargo containers is the fact that the wooden crate has zero electricity going through it, whereas the steel or metal ones have a battery, have solar panels, and sort of require on having power to function. Now, that is the biggest change with the new system, but if you made something on the previous system, nothing has changed for you. You can retrofit it with the second and third control panel, but you do not have to. I do love searching UniCon in the Stormworks workshop and seeing what others come up with. First of all, you'll see that I've not been resting. There are a lot of creations that I released, and then you'll notice some that others released, and we have a wide variety of different functioning UniCon containers. We're up to 2 pages. I would love to see more, and in the future, honestly, I may make a build challenge, so kind of push and bump this. But this one, I just want to point out, is awesome. This user here ended up making a really cool looking deployable solar array. So it actually opens up on a pivot and sliders, and that looks awesome. They also made this truck, amphibious vehicle, that also fits the UniCon containers. that's really cool. This is also something else that's really neat. I'm going to have to take a deeper look into it, but it's an add-on apparently that spawns the container as a cargo. So I'm not sure how that will work, but really cool to see what others are coming up with. Now, if you go to my own page, you'll notice that, first of all, I've not been doing anything but making things to support the UniCon container system. So it is a big project on my part, and you'll see here that there are a lot of things out, about 3 pages worth of stuff. But don't stop there. If you open up any one of these, you'll quickly find that I've actually made a collection that you can press and see all of the crates and cargo systems that I've made. So if you scroll through this, you'll see all of the available UniCon containers. And if you click on this link, or if you make your own, you paste this and it will just give you this, but pretty much it loads that exact same page. However, if you scroll down to the bottom of this, you'll see that there is the transport vehicles. So if you press on that, it'll open up this page, and while the photo looks the same, this is exclusively vehicles created to move and transport this. And if they've not been exclusively created, they've been modified to now work with this cargo system. A great example is my boxcar. So the boxcar now, actually, where previously it was just a big open space, kind of dumb in a sense, where it didn't really do anything. Yes, you could put things inside it. Well, now actually the interior is full of UniCon container slots. So that's a really big deal, I think. Then we have other things that were updated as well. The Aquanaut, I added some slots. I didn't get a chance to add slots on the container ship. That's a big project because there are many containers, but you can subscribe to any of these and you will find that you're now able to place the UniCon containers on any of these creations. Now, I'm not going to go through each one, but we have all kinds of cargo for OSAR, OMA, living spaces. This is something I've been working on to give us a lobster pot, because the lobster pots are kind of awkward and clunky and kind of sit on the deck weird. So if they can be used as UniCons, then they can actually be sorted out and placed on the deck and moved around and stuff. So that may be something I look into. Currently, there is not a top anchor, so that's obviously an oversight. This is a work in progress one. Then we got all kinds of stuff, including a generator, including a bunch of search and rescue things. And then I got to this, which I actually developed, or Sheppy and I developed together, specifically this one. And this is really awesome. I love this system. People were asking how this door opens. Well, it actually works when you grab the handle, it unlocks the pivots. And when you release it, it actually engages the pivots, funny enough. Once there's electrical current going through the velocity pivots, they can no longer move. So then you can kind of manage to open them yourself. But what's really neat is you have a variety of different bays in here and even lights. So once you want to see what's in here, you can see that there are 3 UniCon container slots and lights. This is the Alta version, pretty much same. It's just open, which actually does help because you can kind of slide yourself in through these holes. But regardless, you have the choice of using either of these containers. Then I've developed another version of this lifter truck or grabber truck, and pretty much as I showed you in the past, its purpose is to pick up any loose containers without the use of anything other than the truck itself. So in this case, once this starts to lift up, now I may need to add more weight to keep in mind. So you could see that it's not really working, but there are other things to keep in mind here. So that is something that is a work in progress, by the way, so it's not working, but I just extracted the system from this truck that is out. This truck is not out. Same system, exact same truck model even. These ones are interesting. You may have noticed that I've taken some of the pickup trucks and added rails to the back, specifically the long bed trucks. And in the end here, there's actually two of the containers, or two of the connectors, pardon me. Now keep in mind, with these pickup trucks, you have to slide the container in the perpendicular way. So you can't slide it in normally. You have to use the perpendicular method, which is in this direction. The only thing is, because of the bed of the pickup trucks, you have to use a standard one. You can't use the extended one. Extended is this, when the end goes out one more slot or one more block. So you could tell over here, this is the extended one, where this is the not extended one. So you could use any of the non-extended ones or the crate. You just can't use the extended ones in the pickup trucks themselves. Now, of course, you know the helicopter. That's pretty much what sparked this whole movement, this whole transaction, was adding what I called the H4, or still call the H4 connectors, but then developed the UniCon system in addition to that. So you can see this train car here has 6 slots for UniCon containers, where the new box car actually has 7. So that's really neat. Now you'll notice over here, I placed these. This is quite important to note, because the lift loader, or ULD I believe, is compatible with all that. So you could see here, this configuration plugs into the train. Now I do have 2 versions of the ULD loader. The difference, of course, the small guy here is only for the perpendicular direction. So you slide the container in the perpendicular into, say, a train car or plane, and then you slide it in the main direction into the slot. Where this one, the bigger one that I've been working on, it actually has the ability to load things in the main direction. So perpendicular and main. Right now we're engaging the main track, and then if you actually bring this whole platform up, you'll see that now you can release the H4, you could release the perpendicular side, and then that'll let you, oh, not that one, you don't want to release the perpendicular, you want to slide it down. Well, actually no, it just started sliding the other way. Anyway, so this you can push in the direction of the main direction, which is quite useful. So keep in mind there's a winch here that can probably salvage what I've just done here. So what this allows you to do is to, just have to be careful. As you can see, if you don't pay attention, you will end up causing harm to yourself or the player, or both, or to vehicles around you. So you can see now we're sliding in the main direction. And if you had, for example, a box truck or container trailer that now contains this very special end there, well, that would actually attach in the main direction of this thing. So it's a very intricate but simple system that spans over multiple creations. These things are out. This one's not currently out. This is out. Just simple little loaders that you can pick up the containers. I've showed them before. This van just came out, and you can see that in the back we have the 2 tracks. So anytime you see the 2 tracks like this, you have to think perpendicular. So this is in the non-main direction. So then you have to not use an extended container, regular containers or crates only. So just like the pickup trucks. And actually, that, like I said, that's a beautiful serendipitous thing about this container system, is inadvertently when I developed these side tracks, it gave me the ability to play around with things that I couldn't have done if I had them both like this in both directions, like some of the other cargo container systems. So this actually allows this type of thing to go in here. Now these trailers, you could see that it has all the H4 slots and R10 and the ISO container. So this has everything on both of these. This is just the double one. Then I released this new truck just today actually, and this now gives us 2 slots for the containers, whereas the brand new trailer that you see here gives us 3 slots. So depending on what you're trying to transport, how much of it, you now have the option to load up one single container in a truck like this. And this truck actually takes the extended versions, by the way. The van, which doesn't take extended, you got the semi-trucks, the trucks, then these boats. So I was going to say that I did actually have this developed and redeveloped. So this is one of the creations that was fixed and changed to now suit this new system. And you can see it has 3 slots. This one has 6 slots, so a decent amount of UniCon containers. This one as well has the 3. The only difference is that's the amphibious one. This is the non-amphibious one. Now this one, I did not add more slots. It just has the single one. Good for helicopters, good for mini subs, or for a container. Yes, I could add more, but really Alta is for logistics and transportation. This is more so for, like I said, a mini sub probably going on that deck and being deployed makes more sense, but you still could put a UniCon. Over here, I did fix the helipad to now suit the H4 connector, but not only that, I've added 2 slots for UniCon containers here. Now there is no release, you have to manually release off the container itself, but at least now you can deploy or place a UniCon container on the tanker ship. So that's something that I really was looking forward to. This expands the fleet of things pretty drastically, I gotta say. Like when you look at all these supporting creations, that's a lot of blocks that I put together, folks, to make things work. And there's other people that have also made their own creations. So it's really neat to see the system really take off. I do have plans for other creations for this. Don't worry, I'm releasing things almost every single day. I have a lot of plans, including another helicopter, but also a plane. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for a lot of stuff. Truly, this is a very versatile and awesome system, if I can say so myself. I'm really just proud of the fact that I've developed something that can be so useful in the game. I didn't really think about until now how the game was kind of missing the ability to deploy equipment. Of course, as you know, when there's no way to replenish equipment in your creations, well, this allows you. And actually, I gotta give the credit originally to Sheppy, who told me to make a container for the Alta Gate add-on that we made a while back now. And while it looks nothing like this, that kind of planted the seed in my mind, and eventually it led to this. So, thank you all for watching. I do want to thank all of my YouTube members and my Discord boosters. They are extra supporters who take the additional time to support me and my creations, so I really appreciate that. Thank you to all who watch my videos, who support, who comment, who join the Discord, who join the build challenges, and honestly just to put a nice comment saying that they enjoy my content and that they maybe learned something or were inspired. I love seeing those comments, so never stop. And until next time, happy Stormworksing. See you later.